Welcome to Silver Bar Stacker, folks. I hope everybody's doing well and enjoying their morning. That's right, folks. Today's the morning, and we've got a very, very jam-packed and informative episode for you folks today. Now, it's not going to be any sort of unboxing. You already see a lot of what we're going to be discussing here in front of us. Some of it is just, truthfully, just eye candy. You know, this is literally just here because I feel like putting it here. It's kind of related to what we're going to be talking about today, which is gold standard bars produced by Engelhard. And in fact, all of these bars that you see here in front of you were all produced by Engelhard for the gold standard company. So this is going to be a very interesting topic, and it's going to be a topic that you're going to want to pay attention if you're into collecting collectible vintage stuff. Because, you know, when it comes down to it, you really got to do your research, right? And so there's a lot of sources out there when it comes down to getting your information. I mean, perhaps many people utilize this YouTube channel as a resource when it comes down to needing to find information about particular vintage pieces, because a lot of times, truthfully, you know, we might be the only place where you might be able to find particular information. A lot of other sources there are as well, such as All Engelhard, right? All Engelhard is a great place to go and get a lot of information about some of these more common refiners, and they have quite a bit of information there. But the thing is you gotta always, and I've talked about this many times on the channel before, you really got to use your experience. You gotta look at other sources. You gotta look at multiple sources when you're coming down and making a decision as far as researching the things that you're trying to potentially purchase, right? And when you're looking at things that are being marketed by other sellers, you gotta really think through things and make sure, you know, things are what they are, cross-check things and cross-reference things. And sometimes you feel like you've done all the research and you still end up getting swindled. You still end up not making the right decision. You still end up overpaying for something or buying the wrong thing, or buying something that you thought was something and it is something else, right? And so it's always good to do your research is kind of what the point is here. And it's always good to be wary about any resource. Even this channel here, you know, sometimes we research things and then later we find out something else, and then, you know, things might change, right? So maybe some facts that you've heard here on the channel before, who knows, maybe they've changed in the future. But you know, I'm not here to talk about something that is unfactual about what I've talked about, but you know, we were just talking about All Engelhard, and over there I did find some information about gold standard that I found, hey, you know, this is not actually accurate. You know, this is not accurate. I'm thinking perhaps this information may have been given to them by somebody else who was not aware, or perhaps they found this information from other things that were available for sale. And so let me talk a little bit about what it is that I want to talk about. Now, the gold standard bars that were produced by Engelhard, these were made in many different weight classes. Here you see a 10-ounce bar, you see a couple different 1-ounce bars here, you even see a 100-ounce bar here. And so there were different types of weight classes. There were some poured bars, there were some pressed bars, there were some machined extruded bars, just like this one that you see here in front of us. And so there are quite a bit of different things to collect, some of them higher premium than others. All of them quite high premium, to be quite honest, okay? Now, when it comes down to it, however, here's the thing. Some of these things were sometimes originally issued in original packaging, right? Just like you see some other Johnson Matthey bars sometimes, like, for example, this is the original factory seal that this Johnson Matthey bar came in, okay? And other times you might see something just put inside a capsule or something, right? Obviously, things weren't originally issued in capsules, you know, and nobody really usually tries to market things that way. But, you know, this Johnson Matthey round, too. This is the original factory seal. These usually used to come in sheets of 10 rounds, right? And there would be 10 of these same rounds in a huge sheet, just kind of like how you have those Bill of Rights rounds by Johnson Matthey as well. Those come in a sheet of 10 rounds each. Each of the rounds features a different 10 of the Bill of Rights, right? So sometimes things come in original packaging. A lot of those more common commercial style Engelhard bars, such as the E-logo bars, the Eagle bars, and even some of the Prospector rounds that you can get in the original packaging, those come in sort of a crispy lollipop wrapping, just kind of like this, exactly like this actually. And so these gold standard bars that are a little bit more common than these mirrorback ones are estimated at 2,000 minted according to allengelhard.com. I'm not sure how accurate that is because I've seen quite a few of these on the market. The frosted back are estimated at 5,000 minted. Okay, so there's only estimated 5,000 of these out there according to Engelhard. And truthfully, I actually see fewer of these frosted backs, so I'm not sure about those mintages, truthfully. But those are the estimated mintages. And I do believe that perhaps they might be accurate in saying that there are more of these out there than there are these, because typically what it is for both Johnson Matthey and Engelhard, when it comes down to their 1 ounce bars and even sometimes their 10 ounce bars, they're more fancy schmancy bars. Were typically in these types of a more thicker plastic seal, right? A thicker plastic seal, whereas their cheaper bars were typically in the more lollipop cellophane wrapping, right? So all of your commercial style Engelhard bars, like the higher mintage ones and the Prospector ones, those came in the cellophane type of wrapper. And then a lot of your Canadian style super low mintage Canadian bank bars, the maple leaf bars, a lot of those came in more fancy schmancy seals that were a little bit of a thicker, more high quality plastic. Okay, and so here's the thing. If you go onto All Engelhard right now and you go look up the gold standard 1 ounce variation bars, well, first of all, they don't have any information about the original packaging for the frosted back gold standard bars. I'm showing you right now, this is how they were issued, and they were very haphazardly put in here, because look at this. This thing is backwards. This one bar is put in backwards. These ones are right side up. This one's upside down. These ones are both right side up. So they haphazardly just toss these in, and it is my belief that they toss these in strips of 10. And the reason I'm saying that is not because I have a strip of 10 here. This is just a strip of 4, but I believe that these were probably issued in strips of 10 only because the Prospectors were issued in strips of 10, the Eagle bars were issued in strips of 10, and also the Eagle bars were issued in strips of 10. So it is my belief that these were also probably issued in strips of 10 bars, because that seems to be par for the course here. And even when things were issued both by Johnson Matthey and Engelhard, very many times they would be issued in large sheets of 10. Like for example, these Montana Treasure State rounds, these were issued in big sheets of 10 rounds, 10 ounces. These rounds actually were issued in sheets of 20. So that's a little bit different, but typically your more fancy schmancy rounds, because these are more common 1 million minted bars. These more fancy schmancy rounds were typically issued in sheets of 10, is my belief. I mean, that's what I tend to see over and over again. And I have multiple types of sheets that I have actually in my possession, so I've seen them and I actually own them. Now, here's the thing. So there's nothing that is said about the original packaging. Maybe we can inform All Engelhard. Truthfully, I've stopped sort of informing them about all my stuff, because they most of the time don't get back to me when I reach out to them with new information, and I think they get honestly bogged down with very, very many messages. But regardless, this is information that is not represented on allengelhard.com. The fact that these were issued in these cellophane wrappers. You see it right here. I've got multiple examples of that. And actually, here's some conflicting information, because if you go on to allengelhard.com, they actually show sheets of 10 of these mirror back gold standard bars outside of this plastic seal, inside plastic flips, and just put inside like a makeshift sheet of 10. And it's very weird, because on All Engelhard's website, I don't know, it's because they were told this information. I've seen these sheets sell on eBay like that, just in plastic flips, generic plastic flips, and then they just repackage them into a sheet of 10. That's not how they were originally issued. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that, and that's not how they were originally issued. This is how they were originally issued. I'm showing you right here. They were originally issued in these nice fancy, these lower mintage 2000 minted gold standard bars were originally issued in these types of fancy schmancy seals. You'll even probably find some examples on eBay as well, just like this. They were issued in these types of fancy schmancy seals. They were not issued in plastic generic flips that were then repackaged in sheets of 10. So on allengelhard.com right now, if you go onto their website, that's what it says. That's how it says that they were originally issued. That's not true. That's not true. And so that's an example of, like, you know, somebody might be misled. In fact, one of my suppliers, they were asking me if I was interested in gold standard bars, and I said, I actually have a pretty decent stock of them right now. And they're like, oh, well, it's original sheet. And so I took a look at it and I said, that's not an original sheet. In fact, you sold me an original sheet before, so you should know better that that's not an original sheet. So he, you know, he reached back out to the seller, and they said, you know, this is the original sheet. You know, I've sold many original sheets just like this, and that really raised a red flag, because that's not how the original sheets are. And I'm not sure if they're the ones who told all Engelhard or what, but on all Engelhard it shows that that's how the original sheets were issued, and that's not how they were issued. Gold standard mirrorback 1 ounce bars were issued in these fancy schmancy plastic seals, just like, and these are very, you probably not many people have seen this, but this is how the gold standard 10 ounce bars unserialized were issued. They were also issued in nice fancy seals like this as well. Okay, and here's the thing, is that this is how gold standard bars were originally issued, not in repackaged flips. They were originally issued, the mirrorback ones were originally issued in sheets of 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This is a full original sheet of mirrorback bars. So this is, again, something I have not had a chance to inform all Engelhard about, but I should really kind of inform them that, hey, we really don't want to mislead collectors. This is how the original gold standard mirrorback bars were issued. They were not issued in repackaged flips and packaged in sheets of 10, because I believe that, you know, whoever my supplier bought that repackaged sheet of bars, I believe the person he bought them from has sold multiple sheets of bars like that, repackaged, and marketed them as originally issued things, and people may be believing that because that's what they're reading on allengelhard.com, but that is not true. This is actually how gold standard mirrorback 1 ounce bars were originally issued. So I hope that clears things up, and maybe we should reach out to Engelhard and kind of let them know about that discrepancy there. All right, hope you found this one insightful, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Cheers. Oh, and if you haven't had a chance to yet, be sure to check out our social media landing page at solo.to/silverbarstacker. There you can find our direct website link, which is silverbarstacker.com, as well as our links to our other social media channels, such as this very YouTube channel, our Facebook page, our Instagram page, our TikTok page, our Twitter page, and we also have the link to our Whatnot page, which is where we actually run our live auctions and actually also have all of these same SBS drops that we hold. We run those same drops on our Whatnot store, and we also have live auctions happening literally all the time. So the way that you can be notified about those auctions is to be following us there on whatnot.com/user/silverbarstacker. And we hope to see you there, folks. Thank you, and have a great day.